Hello everyone, I am Sambhavi and welcome to my channel Education Queen. So guys, I have a fun news for you that you all can practice the topics which I teach in my videos with the help of quiz and so that you can prepare well for your exams as well. So I'll talk about it in the ending of this video. Before that, let's continue our topic, which is heat, and this is going to be the part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, then I'll put the link in description. Pick it from there and just watch it so that you can understand the better. Okay, in last video I told you about clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. In this video I'll give you some deep information about them. So first is reading a clinical thermometer. So let us learn how to read a clinical thermometer. So wash the thermometer preferably with an antiseptic solution. Now hold it firmly and give it a few jerks. Ensure that the level of mercury is below 35 degrees Celsius, as jerks bring the level of mercury down. Okay, so now place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue and after 1 minute take it out and just note the reading. This is your body temperature, but ensure that you note the reading by the keeping level of mercury along with the line of your sight. It means in the front of your eyes, so that you will read correct reading. If you keep thermometer so far from your eyes, then you can read wrong reading as well. So remember it while reading any clinical thermometer. Okay. So now we are on precautions to be observed while reading your clinical thermometer. Okay, so first is that thermometer should be washed before and after use, preferably with an antiseptic solution. Why am I saying after as well? Because if you forget any time to wash it before use, then you will remember that last time when I used, then after use also I washed it. So there is no issue, I think. But for your to get your right body temperature, you must wash it before and after use both times, because sometimes you forget, sometimes there is something going on in your mind and it's little bit not focusable. So sometimes it helps you a lot that you wash it after use as well. Okay, now ensure that the level of mercury is below 35 degrees Celsius before use. So this is a very important point. Remember it, because if it will be a little, the level of mercury will be up from 35 degrees Celsius, then you will get, it is possible that you will get the wrong temperature. So read the thermometer keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight, means in the front of eyes. It's just in front of eyes, and if you don't keep it in the line of your sight, then you will note the incorrect reading, and it can means you can feel that it's, oh my god, I have fever, but it is not true. So this is what you have to focus on. Handle the thermometer with care. If it hits against some hard object, it can break. So clinical thermometer is made of glass, so we have to hold it with care. These days there are some other kind of clinical thermometer as well, but many of them are of glass. Okay, now don't hold thermometer by the bulb while reading it. It is because that from bulb, that bulb is the place from where the temperature is sensed. So it can be raised up, the level of mercury can be raised up or raised down while you touch it from the bulb. So be careful, don't hold it from there. Let's move ahead. Okay, so now we'll talk about laboratory thermometer, that how do we measure temperature from laboratory thermometer. But let me give a brief recap that what I explained in last video about laboratory thermometer. So how do we measure the temperature of other object? So for this purpose, as I have told you that there are some other thermometers, and one such thermometer is known as laboratory thermometer. So let's say that I have to measure the temperature of the water, then how will I measure it? So let's take some tap water in a beaker or a mug. You have to take it and dip the thermometer in water so that the bulb is immersed in water, okay, but does not touch the bottom or the sides of the container. So this is the position what should be its position, the thermometer's position, and I have shown in picture as well. So hold thermometer vertically as shown in picture. So observe the movement of mercury in thermometer. Wait till the mercury thread becomes steady and note the reading. This is the temperature of water at that time. Now this is the how we read the laboratory thermometer. Okay, now we are on precaution to be observed while reading a thermometer or laboratory thermometer actually. Okay, that should be kept upright, not tilted as I shown you in picture. It's just straight, it's not tilted. Okay, so it should be straight. So bulb should be surrounded from all sides by the substance of which the temperature is to be measured. The bulb should not touch the surface of the container as it was shown in picture as well. So this is how you have to keep the position of the thermometer, and what you have not to do, that all is mentioned in this, that what should not touch, that it should not touch the side, it should not touch the bottom, it should not be tilted, it should be just straight, and you have to hold it vertically. Okay, so let's take a situation that you might have observed, that frying pan becomes hot when kept on flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensil. When pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? But you can answer if you know it in the comment section as well. So the heat is transferred from the pan to the surroundings, so that's why it cools down. So you can understand that in both cases the heat flows from the hotter object to colder object. In fact, in all cases heat flows from the hotter object to colder object. So these both were just situations which I took to make you understand how the heat transfers. So you must have understood that in all cases the heat transfers from hotter object to colder object. But how does heat flow? So let us investigate upon it. So the first way through which the heat flows is conduction. So let's take any situation or any activity to make you all understand. Okay, so take a rod or a flat strip of a metal, say of aluminium or iron. Fix few small wax pieces on the rod. These pieces should be nearly equal distance as shown in picture. So clamp the rod to a stand. If you do not find a stand, you can put one end of the rod in between the bricks. Now heat the other end of the rod and observe what happens to the wax pieces. Do these pieces begin to fall? Which piece falls the first? Do you think that heat is transferred from the end nearest to the flame to other end? You can answer these all questions in the comment as well. Okay, so the process by which heat is transferred from hotter end to colder end of an object is known as conduction, and in solids generally heat is transferred by process of conduction. So this I wanted to make you all understand through this activity, and I hope you understand. Okay, so next way through which heat flows is convection. So let's take the situation. Okay, so when water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up. The cold water from the sides moves down towards the source of heat. This water also gets hot and rises, and the water from sides moves down. Okay, now this process continues till the whole water gets heated. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection. Okay, so how does heat travel in air? If you know these answers which I asked you, then you can put it down in comment. I would love to see your answers. So in which direction does the smoke goes? This everybody knows. So the air near heat source gets hot and rises. The air from sides come in to take its place, and in this way air gets heated. The next activity confirms this idea. Okay, so light a candle, keep one hand above the flame and one hand on side of the flame as shown in picture. So do your hand feel equally hot? If not, which hand feels hotter and why? Notice that towards the top the air gets heated by convection. Therefore, the hand above the flame feels hot. On the sides, however, there is no convection and air does not feel hot as top. So it was just to make you understand. No need to do this activity. It was just to show you, make you understand. So it is shown in picture, but don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so next way how the heat flows is radiation. So this is the way, third way and last way. There are in three ways the heat get transferred. It was shown in the first slide, which was transfer of heat, where we began about it. So radiation. So let's talk about any real life example. So when we come out in the sun, we feel warm. How does the heat from the sun reach us? It cannot reach us by conduction or convection, as there is no medium such as air in most part of the space between the earth and sun. From the sun, the heat comes to us by other process, which is radiation. So the transfer of heat by radiation do not require any medium. It can take place whether medium is present or not. When we sit in front of room heater, we get heat by this process only. So a hot utensil kept away from the flame cools down as it transfers heat to its surroundings by radiation. Our body too gives heat to the surroundings and receives heat from it by radiation. So all hot bodies radiate heat. So when this heat falls on some object, a part of it is reflected, a part of it is absorbed, and a part may be transmitted. The temperature of object increases due to the absorbed part of the heat. So this was all about radiation. Alright guys, I told you that I'll tell you about some quiz. So yes, you have to pick the link from the description, and you can pick it from comment section also. The quiz will be visible to you, and that quiz, and you have to type your name. If you want, you can. If you don't want, it's your wish. But it's better that you type, because the toppers of the quiz will be announced in the next video, and we are going to follow it for each and every topic. So this was, and you have to there are multiple choice question. In first question you have to type your name just, and from 2nd to 12th question of this quiz, just multiple choice are there. Look at the pictures carefully if it's picture based. Read the question carefully and then think of answer, and whatever according to you is answer, just click on that option. And just when you answer all the questions, just scroll your screen downward. There will be button of submitting, so click on it to submit, and after that you can view your result. There will be option view result after submission, so just click on view result to see your how many were incorrect, how many were correct, how many you did wrong, and wherever you did wrong you can improve on at that side. You can focus on that concepts on which the question was based, so you can attempt it as many times for your practice you want. Okay, so there is no attempt limitation. If you want to attempt it 100 times, you can. So this was all about our today's video, and this was all about our quiz. I hope you understood, and if you didn't, then you can read the description. In second paragraph I have described all about the quiz. Okay, so this was all about our today's video. I hope you understood, and let's meet in next video. Till the timing, keep revising, and bye bye, and thanks for watching.